Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into a highly requested topic: how to learn English on your own. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or unsure of where to start, this episode is for you. Sarah, where should someone begin their English learning journey?
Hi, Hamza. I think the best place to start is by asking yourself a simple question: why do you want to learn English? Whether it's for work, travel, or personal growth, having a clear purpose will guide your learning process.
That's a great starting point. For example, if someone wants to improve for travel, they might focus on conversational phrases. But for work, they'd prioritize business English. What's next after setting a purpose?
After that, create a realistic plan. Start small, maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day, and gradually increase as you get comfortable. Consistency is more important than intensity at the beginning.
Great advice. Now let's talk resources. The internet is full of tools, but that can be overwhelming. How can learners pick the best ones?
True, there's so much out there. For beginners, apps like Duolingo or Babbel are great for basic grammar and vocabulary. Once they have a foundation, they can move on to more specialized platforms like LinkU for reading or italki for speaking practice.
I love that strategy. Speaking of resources, do you have favorite YouTube channels for English learners?
Definitely. Channels like English Addict with Mr. Steve, BBC Learning English, and Rachel's English are fantastic. They cover everything from pronunciation to idioms and real-world conversations.
Those are excellent recommendations. Now let's dive into specific skills, starting with vocabulary. Building a strong word bank is crucial but often feels overwhelming. What's your advice?
Focus on quality over quantity. Instead of memorizing long lists of random words, learn vocabulary in context. For example, if you're interested in cooking, learn words related to recipes, ingredients, and kitchen tools. Apps like Anki or Quizlet make it easy to review consistently.
That's a smart approach. I've also heard that keeping a vocabulary journal helps. You write new words, their meanings, and even example sentences. Do you recommend this?
Absolutely. And take it a step further, use those words in your daily conversations or writing. Repetition in context is the key to retention.
What about listening practice? Podcasts and audiobooks are popular, but how should beginners approach them?
Start with podcasts designed for learners, like The English We Speak or All Ears English. They're slower paced and explain idioms and phrases. Gradually move to native content like TED Talks or audiobooks, but don't shy away from pausing and replaying to understand.
That's so practical. And for movie buffs, watching films and TV shows can be a fun way to learn. Do you have any recommendations?
Definitely. Begin with shows like Friends, Modern Family, or The Office. These have simple dialogues and plenty of humor. For movies, animated films like Finding Nemo or Toy Story are excellent for beginners. Use subtitles strategically, start with your native language, then switch to English.
Great tips. Now, let's tackle speaking, which is often the hardest part for solo learners. How can they practice without a partner?
It's tough but doable. Start by talking to yourself. Narrate your day, describe what you see, or even repeat dialogues from shows. Language exchange apps like HelloTalk or Tandem are great for connecting with real people too.
That's helpful. What about pronunciation? Sounding natural is a big challenge for many learners.
True. Mimicry is the best technique. Listen to native speakers, imitate their intonation, and record yourself. Compare your recordings to theirs. Apps like Elsa Speak or YouTube channels focused on pronunciation can help fine-tune your skills.
Let's move to reading. What kind of material should learners explore as they progress?
Beginners should start with children's books or graded readers. As they improve, they can explore news sites like BBC Learning English or apps like LingQ, which offer articles with built-in translation tools. For advanced learners, novels and newspapers are great options.
Excellent advice. Writing is another essential skill. What's your go-to method for improving writing independently?
Journaling is my favorite. Write about your day, plans, or even your opinions on a topic. Apps like Grammarly or Hemingway Editor can help correct mistakes and make your writing more polished.
Great idea. Now, grammar, many learners find it boring or confusing. How can they tackle grammar effectively?
Focus on the basics first: tenses, sentence structure, and common prepositions. Use interactive tools like English Grammar in Use or websites like Khan Academy. Practice what you learn by creating sentences or doing exercises.
Fantastic. Consistency is key in language learning. How can learners stay motivated over the long term?
Set short-term goals and celebrate small wins, like completing a module or mastering a tricky concept. Also, connect with online communities like Reddit's r/language learning for inspiration and support.
That's so inspiring. Let's talk about mistakes now. What are common pitfalls learners should avoid?
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Also, avoid jumping between too many resources. Stick to a few quality ones and master them. And remember, fluency takes time, so be patient.
Wise words, Sarah. All right, let's wrap up with a final piece of advice for our listeners.
Sure. Language learning is a journey, not a race. Stay consistent, make it enjoyable, and focus on progress, not perfection. You've got this.
Amazing advice, Sarah. Thank you for sharing your insights, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Remember, small daily efforts lead to big improvements. We'll catch you in the next episode.